afternoon, everyone, and welcome inside Ben Light Gymnasium. I'm CC Cam alongside Travis Conway as Ithaca women's basketball continues their second Liberty League matchup of the weekend against the Bard College Raptors. The Bombers are currently 2-3, while the Raptors are 2-5. Ithaca is coming off a dominant win against Vassar last night, 88-65, and look to keep the momentum going. While the Raptors are looking to bounce back after losing to RIT last night, 82-50. So Travis, Ithaca's off to a little bit of a rocky start, but we're able to get a giant win last night. What do you think they need to get off to a hot start against Bard today?
Thanks, Cece. Well, I think the Bombers need to take smart shots. If you look at their stats so far this season, they are shooting 35% from the field, 26% from downtown, only 60% from the free throw line, right? And their last game, one of their best games of the season shooting-wise, they shot 49% from the field, 47% from downtown. So they need to look to take the shots. If that means staying away from the three, that might have to be done. You look at the second quarter of their game last night against Vassar. They shot 64% in the second quarter without shooting a single three. So they have to take smart shots, and they have to make those chosen shots when they get them.
Definitely. Now, looking at this Bombers roster, their top scorers are senior forward Annabella Yario. She averages 11.8 points a game, while senior forward Anya Watkins averages 9.8. How much of their experience and leadership is key for their success for this game and then going down the road for the rest of the season?
I think it's very important, especially with Junie Dixon being out with an ankle injury. They have to step up on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. If you look at Anya Watkins, she's almost averaging a double-double, 9.8, 1 assist, 10 rebounds on the day. So her and Annabelle Yorio, they just got to step up. They got to be the leaders that they need. They got to step up in the absence of Junie Dixon over these next couple of games.
Now, you just said Junie Dixon is out with an ankle injury today, which is a huge loss for this Bombers offense. Now, what impact does her absence have on the team?
Well, Junie Dixon, if you look at last year, was one of the best shooters, if not the best shooter on this Bombers team. And this Bombers team so far this season has struggled making their shots. Again, like she's only shooting 35% from the field, right? So you got to look at other guards on their team, if that's Libby Maka, if that's Madison Gill, if that's so many other people, Zoretta Ikebazella. They have to step up. They have to make shots. They have to pass the ball, move the ball, get the open shots, and not always force the three.
And now, what are some strategies this Bombers defense should use to stop this Bard's offense?
Well, the Raptors, they have 21 turnovers a game. That is the most in the Liberty League now. So force them into mistakes. If that means force them to pass the ball, keep them on the trade, keep them on the perimeter, make them pass the ball to get an open shot. Eventually, they will make a mistake. So keep forcing those mistakes on the defensive side of the ball for the Bard Raptors.
Now, switching over to the Raptors, Travis, what strikes you about this Bard team that will make it difficult for the Bombers to win?
Well, this Bard team right now, they might not be the best scoring team, but they have been one of the better defensive teams if you look at their averages, right? They only allow 25% of their opponent's threes to go in. That is the third lowest in the Liberty League, and they only allow 35% of their opponent's field goals to go in. That's fifth in the Liberty League. So this defense has been really good so far in the season. So they got to just force Ithaca to shoot the ball. Ithaca hasn't been good at shooting so far this year. So if Bard can force them to shoot threes, maybe they have a chance to win this game.
Absolutely. And who are the players on this Bard team the Bombers should keep an eye on?
Well, there's Shirley Dong. She's been great on the defensive side of the ball. She's averaging 9 points, 3 assists, 6 rebounds a game, and she has 3 steals per game, which is really good. She makes it difficult for this Ithaca team without Junie Dixon to maybe pass the ball and get open with the guards on the perimeter side of the ball. There's also Erin Toes, also averaging 9, 3, and 6 on the season. A bunch of great guards on this team, but there's only 11 players on this Bard team, so they might get tired early on in this game.
Now, both teams are hungry for a win tonight, but what does Bard have to do to take advantage of the Bombers' weaknesses?
Force them to shoot the ball. That is what Ithaca has struggled with all season, and that's what Bard's been good at, limiting teams from getting good offensive chances. They just getting outscored, and they also need to limit the mistakes. Again, 21 turnovers a game is way too much, so you got to limit those mistakes if you want to have a chance against the Bombers.
Absolutely. Now, what are the keys for a victory for the Bombers tonight?
Well, again, as I just said, force Bard into mistakes. Force them to turn the ball over. That's what they lead the league in. And stay away from the three. I think they have been better when they attack the basket. They have a taller team, so attack the basket. You have Anya Watkins, you have Ikebazella, you have Yorio. That's what you do best. Your three hasn't been falling so far, so take those twos and get the layups.
Definitely. Now for the Raptors, what do they need to capitalize on the Bombers to take them down?
They gotta shoot. They gotta make their shots too. They gotta score.
Yeah.
They gotta just. The scoring's been what they struggled on, and like last game though they lost 82-50.
Wow.
So they have to capitalize on their shots, and again just keep the defense up from the start of the season. They may have been 2-4 to start the season before last night, and sure last night might have been a bit of a lapse with 82 points allowed, but their defense for the most part has been really good. So keep the Bombers from scoring too many points.
Absolutely. And now moving over to predictions for the game, I'm going to take the Bombers in this one, 70-54. They have a lot of good momentum after their huge win last night. I think they're going to come out firing and finish off the weekend strong. Now, what do you think, Travis?
I think we're letting off Bard a little too much right now. I think Bard can keep this close. I do think the Bombers are going to win, but I think it'll be a lot closer than we're all going to say. I got 68-60 for the Bombers today.
Well, I'm excited to watch this one. It's going to be great. As he's set to hand it off to Colin Martin and Jonathan Falco for the call, as both teams are looking for a crucial Liberty League win tonight. Will the Raptors be able to top this hungry Bombers team, or the Bombers send them packing? It's Ithaca, it's Bard, it's next.
ourselves some Liberty League action here at Ben Life Gymnasium between the Bard College Raptors and the home team, the Ithaca Bombers. With the Bard College Raptors looking to do something that they haven't done in program history, defeat the Ithaca Bombers. 0-13 against them all time. Hello everybody, I'm Jonathan Falco, joined alongside Colin Martin. And Colin, what a game we're gonna have right in front of our eyes. An exceptional team without their best player in the Ithaca Bombers versus a very struggling Bard College Raptors with a first-year head coach.
Yeah, and Jonathan, it's an accurate statement when you point to the all-time series between Bard and Ithaca, but this is a new Bard team than we've seen in the past, and I think a lot of that has to do with Coach Elena Walker coming into her first season. There's definitely going to be some changes there, but due in part to this roster that's improving as well. You have to understand what we're looking at here. It's a young team, a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomore on the Bard side, going against an Ithaca College team that is quite the opposite. A lot of experience down the roster, of course. First-year contributors make up a decent part of what the Bombers have going on, but a lot more experience. You have Dan Raymond in his 25th year of coaching. Obviously, one of the more impressive coaching when you look at his record in the Liberty League, 515, 167. He's a great coach, right? There's two different types of programs that are coming into this game, but there's no doubt the result we could get on the court today is going to be very close. I think Bard actually has put together a pretty competitive team.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Colin. And you mentioned the youth on the Bard College team. Only 2 juniors on the team. The rest of the team, 4 sophomores, 4 first years. And as you mentioned, the Bombers, 4 seniors, 2 juniors, 5 sophomores, and 5 first years. So a lot more experience on this Bombers team. But speaking of experience, we're going to send it down to the experience sideline reporter, the third member of our crew, Randy Crow. Right, what do you got?
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. This Bard team, they've got a new look this year, and they're going to need to prove it here tonight because Bard, they've never beat Ithaca in their 13 matches they've played back to 2015. And more than that, they've never put up more than 52 points, never allowed less than 66 points for the Bombers. Going to be an offensive showcase tonight. Can Bard's defense live up to the challenge? Back to you guys.
Experience of Rayana DeCrow shining right there, getting the hit off right before the national anthem. It's impressive. As we get into our introduction of the lineups, Jonathan, why don't you take us down who's starting for both sides?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Colin. All right, so, and for the Ithaca Bombers, we have to talk about Emma Wayne. The RIT transfer was one of the best players in the Liberty League last year. Hasn't had that breakout game just yet, but is starting for the Bombers tonight, looking to do so here at Bell Lake Gymnasium. The others, the breakout Elizabeth Maka, who dropped 22 points in the Bombers' last game. And joining her, those two are Madison Gill, a first-year guard, and Anya Watkins. We've talked about Anya Watkins all season long. She's been nothing short of incredible. Second in the Liberty League in rebounds, nothing short of amazing for her, as expected. And the fifth, replacing Judy Dixon in the starting 5, Zoraida Iqbal-Seta, the junior guard out of Falls Church, Virginia. She had an incredible first year, Colin, but since then she's been a pretty solid player, but hasn't lived up to that breakout first year here as a member of the Ithaca Bombers. But she will do just that again here tonight. And again, over on the Bard College side, Shirley Dong, the junior guard out of Brooklyn, New York, had 12 points in the Bard Raptors loss to RIT. Speaking of RIT, Maggie Payton as well, the senior forward. Erin Tobes, who had 16 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds in the Raptors' last game. Lexi Miller and Aislinn Dixon wrap up that starting 5, with Lexi Miller being 4th in Liberty League in total rebounds. So a very interesting stat I've also mentioned here, Colin, is that the Bombers lead the Liberty League in offensive rebounds, but are second to last in the Liberty League in defensive rebounds. Colin, if you're the Bard College Raptors, how do you capitalize on a team that's second to last in the Liberty League in defensive rebounds?
Well, Jonathan, the way I look at it here is that Ithaca is a team that they don't provide a lot of size, right? Of course, you roll out a point guard with Emma Waite, who comes in at about 5 foot flat. That automatically boosts the height differential of your team. But also another thing, you look at a team that's top tier in offensive rebounding, lower tier in defensive rebounding, you can point to one offensive stat for that. It's because they shoot a lot of threes. You shoot a lot of threes, you get a lot of those long rebounds. You have people that are active on the offensive side that want to go and get those second chance points on the boards. On the defensive side for Bard, you should understand that, hey, if they're not going to be dialed in on that defensive end, they're not going to be putting an elbow into someone, making sure that they're boxing out with confidence there. That's how you get the second chance points of your own. Bard, they have some height on their squad. I want to see how they capitalize on that.
As the Bombers get the tip, and here is Emma Waite passing it over to Anya Watkins. This game just gets underway with Ichabod Setter near the top of the key. Ichabod Setter moving to the near side, passes it underneath to Waite. Waite looking to make a move happen, passes over to Watkins. Watkins out to at the hill. Excuse me, Gill. Back to Ichabod Setter. To the top of the key. Tightly defended by this Raptors team. Back over is Gill, but a whistle is blown, and the shot is no good.
You can see it there right on the first possession, Jonathan. They're going to be moving around Emma Waite. Emma Waite, a good shooter of her own, but she's a really active cutter. She knows how to get to the rim, and that's what Coach Dan Raymond wants from her. They want to get Waite in positions right near the basket where she's a really good finisher. We're seeing that early. Lots of backdoor cuts already.
As Dixon gets it in the Tobes near the top of the key, being guarded by Emma Waite. Tobes passes it to the far side. Ball looking to score the first points of this game as Lexi Miller takes a shot, and the shot is off. Picked up by the Bombers. Elizabeth Maka with a rebound as Ichabod Setter will slow things down. No points yet as this game just gets underway. Anya Watkins with it now. Tightly defended, passes back over to Gill. Excuse me, it's Maka. Maka passes it to Waite. Waite with a far pass on the far side to Ichabod Setter. Ichabod Setter takes a drive, and there will be a foul on the Bard College Raptors. So on that drive, Ichabod Setter looking to make something happen, but unfortunately for her, no points yet in this game.
Yeah, going to be a foul on the floor, but if you just take it back a couple of moments ago, look what you saw from Bard on their offensive side. It's Aislinn Dixon, shooting 37% from 3 this year. She's a legit shooter. I'm not surprised she gets the early look.
And Emma Waite gets a spot-up shot, doesn't fall for her. And now Bard going to take things out. Shirley Dong, one of the more premier players, or standout players on this Bard College team, a bit of experience there. As now it's Aislinn Dixon being guarded by Gill. Dixon back over to Dong. Dong being tightly protected by Ichabod Setter. Dong gets a screen. Dong with a shot, and a Dong shot does not fall. Picked up by Anya Watkins with the board. She's been incredible on the rebounds so far this season, Colin, as Ichabod Setter looks to slow things down for the Bombers. Ichabod Setter over to Gill. Back over to, that's Maka. Maka to Gill. Gill with a spin. Passes back over to Watkins. Watkins spot up shot, does not fall. Picked up by the Raptors. No score yet with 8 minutes left to go in this first. This Bard looking to score the first points of the game. Erin Tobes gets wrestled down a little bit. No whistle. Watkins playing a nice defense, but regardless, the Bard College Raptors gets the first points of this game. That's Lexi Miller getting it over Anya Watkins. And the Bombers looking to respond here. Waite over to Watkins. Back to Waite. The 5-foot Waite. Passes it over to Ichabod Setter. Ichabod Setter, spot shot for 2. And it falls for Zoraida Ichabod Setter. The first 2 points of the game for the Bombers. Zoraida Ichabod Setter. And we mentioned, Colin, replacing Junie Dixon. So far, so good for Ichabod Setter, as now she's up playing defense on, that's Shirley Dong.
Yeah, Ichabod Setter starting this game, and she's had starting experience before, and let's not forget, although, hey, she may have had a very strong freshman year, where she came in and was an immediate impact player, the production hasn't stopped from there. She averages around 30 minutes per game. She's a very key part of this team, and Coach Raymond trusts her to go out there and facilitate, especially when you have a shorter guard with Emma Wade on the court who provides that defensive versatility. Sometimes having a player like Ithaca Balsetta that can just calm things down, handle the rock, is very valuable, especially on the offensive end of things.
And Erin Tobes gets fouled by Elizabeth Maka, so Tobes misses her first shot at the charity stripe. Tobes looking to make this 3-2. Erin Tobes, the sophomore guard out of Brooklyn, New York, as we mentioned, recorded 16 points, gets the second basket, and it's 3-2 Raptors. Wait near the top of the key, passes it over to Gill. Gill, high pass Emma Wade. Excuse me, that's Elizabeth Maka. I keep messing those two up, but Elizabeth Maka overthrows Emma Wade. As now the Raptors looking to capitalize on that costly turnover earlier in this game. Up to the top of the key, passes over to Dong. Dong tightly guarded by Ithaca Balsetta. Great defense by Ithaca Balsetta, but Dong's able to get it passed over to the far side. Passes up near, and it falls. So far, so good for this Bard College team. Maggie Payton, excellent underneath so far as Emma Wade passes it inside to Maka. Make it back over to Wade. Wade with a shot, does not fall.
And Jonathan, say what you want about Bard and Ithaca's all-time matchup. Of course, the Bombers have quite the advantage there, but that hasn't been the case for Maggie Payton, the senior forward. The last time she matched up with Ithaca, it's 14 points, it's 7 rebounds. Maggie Payton always finds a way to provide some sort of offense for this Bard team when they travel to the South Hill or when they host the Bombers at home. She's always on her A game against Ithaca. Good start for her in this one.
As Payton passes over to Tobes, guarded by Wade. Shot from the far side, and it connects for Bard College. What a start. Aislinn Dixon from way downtown. It's 8-2 Raptors. What a perfect start for Bard College so far in this game. Up 8-2 against the Bombers. Looking to pull off a shocking upset, but too early to tell as Maka gets fouled, trying to drive up to the rim.
That's what Coach Elena Walker from Bard looks to do in these games. She knows Aislinn Dixon's her best scorer. She puts her in positions on these offensive sets, these floppy sets, to get her open. Capitalize on that shot. It gets you some momentum.
As in comes Jillian Payne, Avery McPeak for the Ithaca Bombers team as Maka looking to make this 8-4 with 2 free throws.
Sophomore Tori Drevna also coming in on that substitution.
Maka makes the first one. Elizabeth Maka, as we mentioned, the breakout game last game, 22 points, 8 rebounds. The 5'10 forward from Oak Park, Illinois, with her second free throw, and it connects. 2 quick free throws for Elizabeth Maka.
And Jonathan, it's not by accident. Maka came in. Obviously, when you have some height on you, 5'10", they think that might be a big at this level. Instead, they allow her to transition into a more natural spot. She's playing on the perimeter. She's playing as a true forward, and that's where she's really shining.
Tiana Gonzalez did check in. She almost got a basket there, but well contested there by Tori Drevna.
And it was Maka that ended up getting a hand on that as well, using the height to her advantage, as we mentioned. It's nice to have that versatility where you can play as a true wing, play on the outside, but hey, when someone's driving on you, you can still get a hand on it.
You're absolutely right, as Tobes still in the game, was not subbed out, passes it, a nice no-look layup there by Tiana Gonzalez, but does not fall for her. And it will be Bomber ball, as Emma Wade still in this game with Elizabeth Maka. There's no Wade. Down 8-4, 5 minutes left to go in the first here. And the Bombers slowing things down from beyond the arc. Drevna passes it over to Payne. Payne on the far side to Maka. Maka making a spin move up and connects. What a spin move by Elizabeth Maka. And so far this season, Elizabeth Maka has been an underrated part of this Bombers team, showing her athleticism there.
That game against Vassar last night, kind of a coming out party in terms of scoring, but her impact has been felt. She's getting more opportunities. We see it there. She's willing to put the ball on the floor and create for this offense, which at times kind of lacks that player. I think that's what Coach Raymond likes, what he's seeing from Maka. Just being able to facilitate and say, hey, sometimes I'm the best option. I got to make a play for myself.
As Dong drives on Drevna, takes a hook shot, does not fall, but Dong gets her own rebound. As the Raptors lose the ball, picked up And now Emma Wade with a quick pass over to Drevna. Drevna fakes a shot. Layup doesn't fall. Wide open layup missed by Tori Drevna as I believe that's Maggie Payton that goes down, and she is still on the floor. And Maggie Payton just looks like she's up and okay, but she landed hard.
As the substitutions come in for Bard, let's send it down to Rayana DeCrow at the sideline.
Yeah, guys, certainly not what we were expecting out of this Ithaca team right out of the gate. A little bit of a slow start, but hey, when you have a game yesterday like Vassar where you're playing incredibly fast with all of your effort, the #1 team in the conference, you got to beat them early on in the season. That's why this Bomber team may be starting out a little slow. Back up to you guys in the booth.
Thank you so much, Rihanna. As Bard takes a shot, doesn't fall. Try to get a rebound. I think that was last touched by Avery McPeak, and it was.
Yeah. Jonathan, just to touch on what Ray said right down there, absolutely right. You come into this game with such a history of making your presence known against Bard. I think we almost forget to acknowledge last night. They take on Vassar, and they handled the Brewers. It was a very close game in that first half of play, but in the second half, the Bombers come out firing. The energy of being at home and beating arguably the best team you're going to play in conference play all year, I think that could be contributing to their slow start and Bard's ability to capitalize on their opportunities. I think that's important.
Yeah, the Bombers beating Vassar 75-69 yesterday here at Ben Lake Gymnasium. Yeah, this Ben Lake crowd is always a factor for this Bombers team as Ithaca Balsetta passes it inside. And the Bombers looking to make a little comeback here, down 8-6 now. And they call a travel on Tori Drevna. And back-to-back travel calls, the first one being on Shirley Dong. And now the Bombers get a travel of their own. As Dong's going to inbound down here for the Raptors. Bombers playing tight defense on the full court. Hazen Dixon looking to make something happen here. Passes back to Lexi Miller. And to the far side to Gonzalez. Gonzalez, a far pass to Dixon. To the near side. Dixon back over to Dong. Dong on the inside, swatted away by Avery McPeak in the middle of a pass. It'll still be Raptors' ball, but a good way to stop the momentum on this drive, on this offensive drive, and looking to reset on defense here for this Bombers team. As McPeak playing tight defense on Dong. And Dixon takes a shot. Shot clock expires, doesn't fall. Bombers get the rebound. And Jillian Payne there with the board as Payne passes it back to Ithaca Balsetta.
Ithaca doing a really good job shutting down what Bard can do on the inbound. That play meant to go right back to Dong at the top of the key. Instead, forces Dixon to shoot a three from way too deep.
Ithaca Balsetta wide open. Did not elect to take the three, but she'll take the layup instead. And it connects. This game is tied with 3 minutes left to go in the first. Starlight Ithaca Balsetta with a pretty solid first half here for the leading this Ithaca Bombers team back from an 8-2 deficit. And just like that, it's 8-8. And now Shirley Dong looking to respond to that. Passes over to Gonzalez. And I believe they're going to call a travel on Gonzalez. And back-to-back travels for this Raptors team. And the Bombers are looking to capitalize on both those mistakes.
Number 22, Aaron Tobes. Number 23, Jessica Miller.
Jonathan Tobes and Miller coming back into the game for Bard. Ithaca trying to set something up on the offense.
Yeah, as you're absolutely right, Jillian Payne still in this game. As Tori Drevna has it back over to Ithaca Balsetta. Ithaca Balsetta at top of the key. Trying to find somebody inside. She does, and it connects for Avery McPeak, and the foul. Avery McPeak finds the gap and connects. And she's going to get one opportunity here, looking for a three-point play for Avery McPeak. Avery McPeak, the junior forward, 5'10" at Easton, Pennsylvania. McPeak shots up, and it does not fall for. Rebounded by the Bombers, though. Ithaca Balsetta back at the top of the key. Ithaca Balsetta passes it inside to back inside to McPeak. Driving it back out to Ithaca Balsetta. Ithaca Balsetta gets a screen. Ithaca Balsetta near the charity stripe, doesn't fall. And be rebounded by Jessica Martin of the Bard College Raptors.
Jonathan, I really liked what I saw from McPeak in that sequence. The ability, of course, it's her first 2 points of the season with that bucket right there. Then affecting the team on the offensive rebounding side of things, trying to get her hands into the mix there.
Yeah.
not called on too often this season, but we're seeing in these small spurts, McPeak can be really impactful for this Bombers team.
And Aaron Tobes with it now getting tightly contested, and they're going to give the ball back to the Bard. Oh, no, excuse me. They're going to call a timeout by Bard. Bard calls a timeout. A 30-second timeout, and that's going to give us some time to send it back down to Rhianna Crow, the third member of our crew. Rhianna, what do you got?
Yeah, guys, let's talk about the first-year head coach, Elena Walker, for the Raptors. Her debut season, she comes from St. Thomas Aquinas, where she helped them qualify for back-to-back ECC playoffs, and she graduated from St. Bonaventure. She was a baller there. She said she couldn't have asked for a better group to step in on, and the girls, they like to work hard. It's a dream as a coach. Back up to you.
Thank you so much, Rhianna. And yeah, Elena Walker, the first season here at Bard College, and I would say a relatively rebuilding Bard College Raptors team, looking to pull off an incredible upset, the biggest win of Elena Walker's career so far here as a member of the Bard College Raptors, if they can get it done against this very tough Bombers team.
Yeah, and Coach Walker, a positive force on this team. She's the definition of a player's coach. The girls love coming out and showing out for Coach Walker because she has that positive outlook. And hey, talk about the season they've had already. You're 2-5 on the year. That might not stand out on the stat sheet, but when you go 4-20 last year, 1-22 the 2 years before that, you're already making strides at that improvement, and that's what Coach Walker prioritizes. She wants this team to get better every day.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, Colin. A very young team to work with, so she's going to be able to get familiar with a lot of players on this team. And speaking of Bard, has the ball here. That's Maggie Payton driving. It'll go out of bounds, but I think they're going to give it back to the Raptors.
Yeah, off the finger of Tori Drevna right there. Trying to kick it out to the corner was Bard. Drevna able to get a hand on it. Now Bard, again, these inbounds, Ithaca has been very successful defending them. Bard can't even get someone to inbound the ball.
They're going to have to go fast, though. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. 59 seconds left to go in the first. 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Just puts it up there. Doesn't fall for the Raptors. Bombers get the ball back. 50 seconds and counting down. Ika Balsetto speeding things up for the Bombers. Ika Balsetto drives past, quick layup, and it goes swirls and out of the rim. Ika Balsetto, unlucky there, goes everywhere but in for Zoraida Ika Balsetto, and it'll remain a 10-8 ball game. 35 seconds left to go in the first. And the Raptors looking to make one last push. Quick three there on the far side by Jessica Martin doesn't fall. And the Bombers looking to make something happen as the first quarter is about to wind down. Ika Balsetto talking to her players, communicating, looking to make something happen. As on the near side by Payne. Payne inside to McPeak. McPeak with a far pass. Over to Drevna, back to Jillian Payne, takes a three, and it connects. Perfect execution by the Bombers. Jillian Payne left wide open for the three, and that's going to do it. Full court shot, nowhere close, and it is 13-8 Bombers, and that is the end of the first quarter. A relatively close game. The Raptors were up 8-2 to start, but the Bombers were able to capitalize on mistakes by the Raptors. Now they're up 13-8, but we're going to send it down to the third member of our crew, Rhianna Crow, for more. Ready?
Yeah, guys, last night the message to the team from the coaching staff was let's move, let's keep it moving, and sometimes they even have to slow it down. Tonight, playing so slow, the message from the coaching staff is, okay, let's get it going, let's drive towards the basket, but it doesn't seem like it's been relayed super clearly to the team so far. A lot of stoppages from the Bombers, a lot of slowed down play, trying to make that adjustment here in the first quarter. Guys, back up to you.
We thank you so much, Rhianna. And you mentioned the Bombers' defense has been efficient so far against the Bard College Raptors, looking to pull off an upset. The Raptors dead last in total offense, just in general. Dead last in field goal percentage, and toward the bottom in 3-point percentage. So the Raptors struggling on offense this season. Didn't struggle a lot for the first part of this game, but toward the latter half of the first quarter, didn't really get a lot going, Colin.
Yeah, neither of these teams come in with high-powered offenses. Ithaca has found a little bit more success on the season. Both of the two hanging towards that bottom part of the total offense in the Liberty League, but That's where you like to see the end of the quarter. That's what Coach Raymond likes. You draw up a play. You get your shooter Jill Payne open, who last night against Vassar hit 4 threes. It seems like she's back in her groove. She knocks in her first attempt of the game. That's how you roll with energy into a second quarter when you start out a little bit slower than you like. Draw up a play, get it to execute how you want it. That's good for the Bombers.
Absolutely right. As the Raptors looking to start off fast. Shirley Dong almost tried to drive to the court, and Watkins tips it, but the Raptors keep possession here on the near side of the court. It's Maybelle Sullivan. We haven't seen a lot this season for the Raptors. Tipped by Ichabod Seta, goes out of bounds. It will remain Raptors ball as the second quarter just gets underway here at Ben Live Gymnasium. The Bombers up 13-8 over the Raptors as Tiana Gonzalez comes in once again. We saw a little bit of her in the first quarter. Wasn't able to do a whole lot for this bar team, but has played relatively well for a first year of this season for the Raptors. As the shot clock winds down for the Raptors, looking to throw something up, and it does not fall. Anya Watkins with it now. Anya Watkins, one of the better rebounders in the Liberty League, passes it back to Emma Waite. Emma Waite, wide open three, and it connects for Emma Waite. First in the Liberty League in three-point percentage for a reason. Emma Waite, the RIT transfer, getting a huge three ball for this Bombers team.
Yeah, Jonathan, miscommunication from the Bard side right there. Emma Waite, you can't leave her open from three. When she gets her feet set, when she's in the free-flowing form of the offense, she's not going to miss that shot. So Waite, incredible spacing to get to that spot. Good work from Ichabod Seta, spreading out the offense, slowing things down. Ithaca's came out strong in the second quarter. A lot more energy than we saw for them to open the game. Maybe shaking the nerves off, maybe feeling a little bit more confident, getting their feet under them, but that's the Bombers team we expect to see in today's game.
You're absolutely right, and scheme matters. Dan Raymond, 25 years as the coach of his Ithaca Bombers team. Dan's been coaching, not to make Coach Raymond feel old, but he's been coaching longer than either of us have been alive. So that's impressive for him. 25 years with his talented Ithaca Bombers team as the Raptors down 16-8. Started off strong, hasn't done much since. As Shirley Dong getting tightly contested by Ichabod Seta. Tiana Gonzalez with it now. Maka tries to draw a charge. So no whistle there. As that was Maggie Payton trying to get it up to the rim. Does not fall for her as Ichabod Seta with a long pass over the Maka. And it go out of bounds, I believe.
Now, Jonathan, was that a shot at Coach Raymond? Because, hey, once you eclipse 22, 23 years coaching at any college, you're not going to be coaching people anywhere close to how long you've been there, and then a broadcast team, students as well. I think Coach Raymond has heard that one before, but, hey, it's experience. It's not age. He's coming in strong on this one.
That's a great way to put it, Colin. Experience over age, as that's Erin Tobes tipping it, and it will remain Bombers ball. As referees talking a little bit, and
yeah, they're going to swing it back the other way. It was off the hand of Waite right before going out of bounds. Tobes with a good play, kind of being able to head towards the sideline, throw it off of Waite. She just couldn't get out of the way, so now Bard's going to be able to set up their offense.
Bard College, again, as you mentioned, one of the worst offensive teams in the league, and they're going to call a travel on the Raptors once again. I believe it's the third travel of this game so far. Crucial mistakes that are just going to benefit the Bombers as we head into the second half of this second quarter, I should say. As the Bombers looking to drive up here, long pass, wild pass there, but the Bombers keep possession. Quick spot-up shot for Gill. And it doesn't fall forward. The Raptors get the ball, looking to drive fast, is Aislinn Dixon. Dixon being covered pretty well. Gonzalez with it now. Gonzalez with a quick little sky hook there, and it connects. Tiana Gonzalez, the first year, with a nice hook there.
Yeah, Gonzalez with her first bucket of the game, but I think you have to shout out Maka on the defensive comeback for that, because think about what you just saw from Bard. They're going downhill at full speed. Aislinn Dixon, one of the more athletic guards, and it's Maka who's able to get right in front of it, but hey, Dixon trying to come right back, gets a finger on Maka's shot. Hey, maybe these two starting to go at it. We saw a little bit of chippiness earlier in this game between Ichabod Seta and Shirley Dong, but now we're seeing it between the matchup of Aislinn Dixon and Maka.
You're absolutely right. And Maka, again, she was a breakout in the Bombers' last game against Vassar when they needed her the most. She definitely stepped up for them and looking to step up once again. as Gonzalez gets the ball stripped away, but she still has it. Elizabeth Mako, we just mentioned her, playing excellent defense. As a spot-up shot from way downtown doesn't fall. Rebound again by Anya Watkins. She's been incredible for the Bombers on rebounds in general, offense and defense. As Ithaca ball set up, pass it over to Waite. Waite, the 5-foot guard, transfer out of RIT with it now near the top of the key. Pass it back over to Maka. Maka inside the Watkins. Watkins back out, wide open three for Emma. Waite doesn't fall. Rebounded by, that's Gill. And Gill landing a bit hard there. But she's up and okay. Maybe a little bit. They're going to call a foul on the Raptors.
Her second.
They're call it on Tiana Gonzalez as Madison Gill. They're going to take a couple free throws at the charity stripe.
Shoot two, Madison Gill.
We're going to make this 18-10 as in comes Madeline Barrows. The sophomore guard from Oxford, New York, comes in for the Bombers, up 16-10. As Gill misses the first free throw. It's still 16-10. 7:06 left to go in this first half. As Gill connects with her second free throw, 1 for 2 there, and it's 17-10 Bombers. 7:05 left to go in the first half, and the Raptors will make something happen. Erin Tobes, Ross up in her own step. Emma Waite wide open for the net. Lays it up and it connects. A crucial mistake by Erin Tobes. And excellent defense by Emma Waite just leaves her wide open for an easy basket. 19-10 Bombers. And Tobes with it again. Emma Waite playing a competitive defense, as we mentioned. As Tobes passes it inside to Maggie Payton, doesn't fall. Waite, the speedster, looking to make something happen. Ichabod set it wide open. Elected not to take a free throw, but she will take the spot-up shot. Zoraida Ichabod set not willing to take a free throw, but she's willing to take a spot-up shot from inside the paint. As the Raptors will call another timeout.
Jonathan, it's hard not to mention the transfer when you talk about Emma Waite. Of course, her coming from RIT, a familiar face. I'll have more on that in just a moment, but in the meantime, let's send it down to the sideline. Rayon DeCrow, what do you got?
Yeah, guys, an experimental first half for the Bombers is what I would call this. Ithaca trying a lot of different things. They know they can do that against this Bard defense, but a lot of that stuff hasn't worked. Bard's been really good at getting their hands into lanes and blocking away shots. Coach over there on the Bard bench is pretty happy with their team and their defense so far. Back to you.
Thank you, Ray. We'll take it back here and talking more about Emma Waite, because of course I'm with Ray on that. An experimental first half of offense. It seems like she shined in the last couple of possessions. Just a little less than a year ago today, Emma Waite with her biggest game in her collegiate history, 40 points against Bard. She knows what she's doing when she matches up against this team. So hey, maybe some new threads for the 5-foot guard in her grad season, but when she matches up against Bard, she brings that next level of energy, and we're seeing it in this one.
Yeah, we mentioned that before the tip-off. Emma Waite, coming from RIT, and yet to find that breakout game, and you mentioned around this time last year, dropping 40 on this very Bard College team. So we'll see if Waite can pop off for the rest of this game, as Waite playing excellent defense so far. Maybe the stats won't show it, but her defense has been incredible. As the Raptors make a bunch of mistakes, as Alicia Romaine passes it over to the top of the key to, that's Jessica Martin, and the shot doesn't fall for her. And it'll go out of bounds. The Bombers get the ball as Madeline Barrows. We haven't seen much this season for the Bombers. And speaking of someone we haven't seen much, Isabella Middleman in the game for the Bombers. Someone we haven't seen plenty all year. Subbing in for the Bombers, only up by 11. As a far side shot for Madison Gill doesn't fall.
Yeah, and talk about some faces that we haven't seen for the Bombers too often this season. It is Barrows. Barrows, the transfer from Shepherd, D2 school, played 3 games for them, coming into the Bombers organization as a sophomore. And Isabella Middleman, the senior, hasn't really got the shine on the court so far, but Raymond elects to her. So Waite makes a defensive play.
Yeah, Emma Waite, another great defensive play. A second steal of the game. Nice bounce pass to Gill, and it connects. Madison Gill, Emma Waite with a great chemistry with her new threads. She's fitting in as a Bomber in this game, up by 13. And they're going to call a foul on Waite. They're going to call a reach-in on her. I think it'll be her first foul of the game. But Emma Waite has been playing exceptional defense nonetheless for this Bombers team.
I think the biggest aspect, you could attribute it to how Wade's playing, but I really think it's a full team defensive effort. Just a whole lot more energy. We see Bombers getting their hands in on the ball quite often, and it's just the energy has elevated in the second quarter. As Bard capitalizes on a layup right there, it's going to be Maggie Payton. But as I was saying, Ithaca, they're just all over the place in the second quarter, much different than we saw in the first.
It's a wide open shot for Barros, doesn't fall for the Bombers, but that'll be Shirley Dong with a rebound. Shirley Dong, one of the premier players on this team, going to lead her team back down by 11. As Jessica Martin with it, looking to get past Madison Gill, and she does. Quick spot up shot. Now the Bombers looking to respond. 23-14, 5 minutes left to go in this first half. As Madison Barrows passing it over to Madison Gill. And now Wade again, a layup, foul called. Shot doesn't fall, so Emma Wade will shoot two from the charity stripe.
Call number 2, Alicia Romaine.
They're going to call a foul on Alicia Romaine, another person we haven't seen that much for the Bard College Raptors this season.
Yeah, but in the recent games, Bards had to deal with some injuries to their lineup. She plays 22 minutes against Johnson and Wales. Not the elite type of scorer you would see, 1.2 points per game in her career, but she makes an impact on this Bard team. Of course, doing a little too much right there, you get a foul, sends Wade to the free throw line, but it's her defensive intensity that Coach Elena Walker of Bard really likes. That's why she plays important minutes in games that Bard is still very much in. She has a lot of trust from this coaching staff. Junior, one of the older players on this team that is so young. She makes an impact on the defensive side of the ball.
We can argue it was a good foul for the Raptors because Emma Wade missed both the free throws on that play. It's still a 23-14 game as Wade does sub out of this game for the first time. As Payne passes it over to Barros. Barros inside back to Payne. Payne back over to Middleman. Quick layup, and it falls. For the benefit of Isabella Middleman, haven't seen much for this year, but Middleman making her impact in this game, or an early impact up 25-14 now. Ichabod set up playing tight defense once again on Shirley Dong.
Maybe just a simple right-handed layup, but it means so much more than that. So that shot's going to go out, rebounded by the Bombers. It means so much more than that because Middleman hasn't been able to get much time this year. The bench is electrified when that goes in. That's an energizer right there.
Ichabod set up, fakes out Shirley Dong inside with a quick spot-up shot once again. What a game so far for Zoraida Ichabod Seta. A little bit of a breakout game for this season for Zoraida Ichabod Seta. Hasn't really had the opportunity to do that much. In wake of Junie Dixon being the clear MVP at the guard position. As Ichabod Seta, we mentioned, had a great first year for the Ithaca Bombers. Quick little fake, little move there, doesn't fall. Oh, nice backward layup there by Ichabod Seta, but nowhere near the basket. As Ichabod Seta now playing full court defense.
That's my favorite part of Ichabod Seta's game. You get a nice little cross. You have this athletic layup. It goes out. You don't pout. You don't walk back. She plays press defense almost immediately. That's what you like, and that's why you need a high-energy player. I've really liked the pairing, bringing Wade in. We've talked about her so much this game. She's been playing very well. But Ichabod Seta stepping up into that spot. I think what Wade has provided for this team is much more than, hey, I can hit a couple shots. I can run the length of the floor. I've really seen the shine of Ichabod Seta running up and down, playing this full court defense, and just having more confidence, it seems. I really like this backcourt pairing. Obviously, they got to start this game. Ichabod Seta riding solo on the court right now.
Yeah, Grace McNamara checks in for the Bombers during that quick stoppage as Madison Barrows passes back over to Middleman. Quick jump shot doesn't fall. As now the Raptors, Tiana Gonzalez, we mentioned her a little bit. An exceptional playmaker. A very bad pass there for Bard. A little bit of miscommunication on the offense. Aaron Tobes trying to get it inside, but it falls well out of bounds. Nobody near the ball, and now the Bombers will look to capitalize on that mistake. Up 27-14 as this first half's going to come to a close in 2.5 minutes. As it's Isabella Middleman with the ball now. Far pass over to Jillian Payne. Jillian Payne spot up shot, and it hits the rim, doesn't fall. And it'll stay in bounds. Nice play by Grace McNamara, preventing him from going out of bounds. And Ichabod Seta with it top of the key. Ichabod Seta over to Barros. Barros back to Ichabod Seta. Back and forth. Now with Barros. Back to Ikabalseta once again. 5 seconds left to go on the shot clock. Ikabalseta by herself. Passes it over to Drebna. She got Jillian Payne. Doesn't fall for Jillian Payne. And the Bombers get the ball immediately back. It'll be a foul. They're not going to call it, though. They're not going to count Isabel Middleman's shot. They're going to call a travel on her instead, and it will be Raptors ball, still 27-14. Isabel Middleman with a travel, and it cost the Bombers 2 points.
Really great hustle from McNamara there. Bard, their entire team running the length of the court, trying to get fast break points. McNamara just throws a hand in there, allows her team to get a shot. Middleman, they call the travel before she's able to put a shot off. It was a very ticky-tacky call right there. You never really know how that one's going. Not for a lack of effort, a really good play from Grace McNamara.
And yet another bad pass by the Raptors. Aislinn Dixon with a pass well out of bounds, looking to try and recover from these offensive struggles so far, not just this game, but this entire season, as Middleman passes over to Barrows. Barrows inside the paint. Payne back up to Barrows, and Barrows connects. Nice little scoop play, makes it 29-14.
Jonathan, such a good off-ball cut from Barrows. That's what you want to see. Check into the game. Don't do anything crazy, right? You haven't played too often this season. You come in, you make a cut like that, you play the tough defense she's been playing. That's what you want to see.
You're absolutely right. And now the Bombers over to Gonzalez for a two-pointer, and it will connect. I think it will count as a three. I thought her foot was on the stripe, but it will count as a three for Tiana Gonzalez. And then the Bombers looking to respond by that. No foul. Oh, yes, there will be a foul on Grace McNamara for another travel. And Grace McNamara, somebody we haven't seen that much for the Bombers, the sophomore guard out of Massachusetts.
Yeah, and for Bard, that's a big three right there. You kind of stop the bleeding. It's been all Ithaca. They've been putting the ball into the net, and they've been just putting together good offensive possessions over and over again. You got to see one fall. Really good shot from Gonzalez.
And they're going to call a travel on Tiana Gonzalez. A clear travel there. Hopped a couple of times and trying to get the ball up, but regardless, another mistake for the Raptors here. Travels have been a big factor for the Raptors, as well as inaccurate passes have cost the Raptors in this second quarter. Is now Payne with it, top of the key. Payne far side of Middleman. Middleman trying to make something happen. Quick pass, another bad pass, this time by the Bombers, looking for Isla Dervisevic, the first time we've seen her in this game.
Jonathan, a sloppy game for both sides to start. Overall team turnovers, 9 for each side. That is a number that these teams don't want to reach throughout an entire game. You're getting it with 30 seconds left in the first half of play. A little bit sloppy. I'm sure both coaches will go to the locker room at halftime and try to narrow that down. That's been the story of this first half of play.
I feel like that's, especially for the Raptors, making a bunch of crucial mistakes, being down 29-16 as there's 15 seconds left to go in this first half. And it's tipped away by Madeline Barrows. It'll go out of bounds, though, and it'll stay Raptors ball with 13.3 left to go, 29-16. And the Raptors looking to have one final offensive drive here. And Shirley Dong looking to inbound it to that's Justin Martin. Martin back to Dong. Dong, quick fake, quick layup, and it will connect for Shirley Dong. Nice moves there. 1 second to go. Page is going to take a half-court shot. Almost got it. It hits the rim, but it doesn't fall for Jillian Payne. Payne's smiling. She said, dang, I could have had that. But that will do it for this first half. The Bombers up 29-18.
Hey, it's been a half indeed. And also, just to note what Jill Payne's been doing there, she is the best shooter on this team. At least she thinks she is. She has that confidence as a shooter. We get to half court. She's calling for it the whole time. A nice little shot there. But it's been the story of turnovers so far. Both of these teams kind of playing a sloppy style of basketball. Ithaca, of course, with the double-digit lead. But they haven't been getting what they wanted either. These backdoor cuts, they're flying out of bounds. They're not getting the shots that they want up near the rim. What do you see from Ithaca that you think they need to hammer out in the locker room?
Well, honestly, it's the mistakes. Like they've been playing really well on offense, but the mistakes are costing them from making this a complete blowout. The Raptors are still in this. They're only down by 11, but the Bombers could have made this up by. They could easily be up by 20 right now if those mistakes weren't an issue. But with that being said, we've had enough conversation here, but we're going to send it down to the third member of our crew in Rayanna DeCrow. Ray, what we got?
We're just going to keep going. Ray will get back at some point. But let's just talk about what we saw in that first half a little bit more. It wasn't a clean one, but it was one where we saw a bit of a shine from this Ithaca backcourt we mentioned at the start of the game. Ithaca has to change their lineup a little bit with Junie Dixon not being available. You have Emma Waite, you have Zoraida Icabal-Seta, both of whom have put together good scoring performances. Waite with 5 in that first half, Icabal-Seta with 8 of her own, and it's been these fast break opportunities. It's a lot easier to get buckets around the rim when there's no one near you, and it's because great defense leads to good offense. That's what we've seen so far. Ithaca's defensive intensity, we saw that boost quite a bit in the second quarter of play.
Yeah, especially with Zoraida Icabal-Seta being able to clamp down on Shirley Dong, preventing her from doing a whole lot in this game. Shirley Dong with not a single point in this matchup. And we've mentioned her a lot, being one of the premier players on this team. She had 12 points in the Bard's last game against RIT, lost 82-50. But regardless, Shirley Dong early struggles for this Bard college team.
One of the benefits for Ithaca coaching on this side is that they've seen Shirley Dong before. Of course, that's Bard's first option on offense. They like to run the offense through her. Even on this defensive set, Bard doing something very interesting on their offense. They're running her through as a true baseline runner. That shows the impact she has in scoring because they want to set her up. They want to hit Miller in the post and have her be able to hit Dong in the corners. Ithaca doing a really good job of marking up on that, but Dong, junior on this team, one of the only upperclassmen that actually gets a lot of playing time for this squad. She's been a full-time starter since freshman year. Ithaca has seen her as an impactful member of this Bard team for now over the course of 5 or more games. That allows them to understand what she does best and really lock in on her on defense. Of course, as you mentioned, Dong not having the shooting impact that you want so far, not really being able to put up good shots, that limits a lot of what the Raptors can do on offense.
You're absolutely right, and let's turn things to Elena Walker. You have to think about her. The first-year head coach for this Bard College team. This is her season debut for the Raptors. Down 29-18 to a Liberty League opponent. What do you think she's saying in the locker room right now, Colin?
Yeah, and it's a different style of game. For Bard, it's different when you have a coach that's not able to make their own schedule. That's one of the beauties of college coaching. Usually, you get to decide, especially in those out-of-conference games, when they go. You have a bit of a say in conference, how you match up with things. That wasn't the case for Walker. She steps in, schedule already planned out, and it's a lot of road stretches. Having back-to-back traveling road games in conference is really brutal. I mean, they're in Rochester last night, taking on RIT, who is a really good team, one of the better women's teams in the Liberty League, and they don't come out on top of that matchup next day. They have to travel to Ithaca in the tough weather. Now, we're going to send it down to Rayana DeCrow, who has just a bit more for us. Ray, what do you got?
Oh, no problem.
Guys, down here with Coach Dan Raymond, I mean, a pretty slow half offensively on either side of the floor. What was really inhibiting offensive production?
It'd be nice to know, wouldn't it, Ray? Because one of the things we talked about, that we purposely mentioned is the intensity drop from last night to today. And it's got to start on our defensive end, and that will help our offensive intensity. And right now we don't have it. And if I could put my finger on it, I would push that button.
And this game, though, an opportunity to get a bunch of players in who don't normally see time on the floor, experiment with some things. I mean, what does it mean to get a couple players off your bench and see some time?
Well, yeah, we'd like to do that even a little bit more, but in order for that to happen, we have to at least get them a little more comfortable a lead.
Second half keys.
I mean, getting good stops on defense and getting more transition opportunities, and then executing on offense. We just aren't doing that.
All right. Well, Coach, thank you so much. Good luck in the second. Guys, back.
Thank you so much, Rihanna. Speaking with Coach Dan Raymond there, and we talked about it, Colin. The offensive intensity has been a factor for the Bombers team. The defensive intensity has been there, but offense not so much. But that's going to do it for this first half of our coverage here. But we're going to send it just in a few minutes. We're going to send it down to Travis Conway and CC Cam for the halftime report. Stay with us here on the Bomber Radio Network.
Welcome back to the halftime show inside Ben Light Gymnasium. I'm Cece Cam alongside Travis Conway. Well, Travis, what a first half of women's basketball. Ithaca currently leads 29-18. And what are some of your thoughts on how this game is so far?
I mean, Ithaca's just been controlling, they've been dominating this game so far. They obviously up 11 right now. Their shooting has been amazing. They've been aggressive all game. They have not given Bard room to breathe through this entire game. Bard has 10 turnovers on the game so far in the first half alone, only scoring 18 points. And Bard hasn't been bad defensively either, only allowing 29 points in the first half. They just haven't been able to get anything to go today. I think they're shooting around 30% as a team right now in this game. Yes, 31% as a team right now. So, yeah, Ithaca's just been dominating on both sides of the ball.
And when going back to the pregame show, when you were talking about our predictions, you said that it was going to be a very close game. And while you were definitely right, in the first quarter is very tight. And they got off, the Bombers got into a little bit of a slow start, but they started to gain momentum and finally pull away in the second quarter. And the main reason was their defense. They made it very difficult for the Raptors to get a shot off. Now, Travis, what do you think the Raptors have to do to come back in this game?
Well, first, limit mistakes. They have 10 turnovers, and they've tried multiple times to get passes on the baseline. They've just been knocked out of bounds, really stifling their chances. Again, and this is a shorter team than the Raptors are a shorter team than the Bombers, so they've been trying to attack the basket, but it just hasn't been working for them. But they've also been trying to shoot threes, and those have not been falling. So if you're Bard, keep looking for the open shots. They had a little bit of a run in the mid part of the second quarter, so look for those shots in the mid-range since your threes aren't falling, but you can't get too close to the basket because you're not going to get a good shot off.
100%. And now, what are some of the aspects of the game that has surprised you from this Ithaca offense?
I mean, their offense has been really good today. I mean, Ithaca's offense, if you look at the numbers, haven't been good all season, but it seems like now they've turned a corner. They're shooting 44% so far, 2 for 7 from downtown, and also they get into the line. They've had 7 free throws compared to Bard's 2, so they've been really good at just keeping the pressure. And I feel like you can do that a lot more when you have so many players that the Bombers have, like that can just attack the basket and play on the perimeter. They've just been really good offensively. I mean, you would want more, only scoring 29 points, but it's defense been great. You have 9 turnovers for Ithaca, not the best at taking care of the ball, a lot of travels, a lot of errant passes. So you want to limit the mistakes of your Ithaca, but so far, so good for the Bombers.
Definitely, and very impressive first half for junior guard Zoraida Ika-Falseta. She's a leader scoring right now with 8 points and 2 assists, but it really has been a full team effort. Well, Travis, what have you seen from junior Jill Payne? She's scoring some clutch threes to bring the Bombers back into this game.
Yeah, I mean, they were down in that first quarter. They had it down. I mean, Bard had the lead for about 6 minutes. It's been the longest lead for any team in the game so far, a 6-minute lead, right? And when they were down, when they were scoring, they started looking for open passes, and that where Jill Payne came in and hit that 3 to just kick off the offensive streak. She's been good. She's been getting open looks. She's been getting a lot of the good passes to give other players open looks. Jill Payne has just been really good at taking control of the game and being the person that they can run the offense throughout this first half.
Now, is there any other Ithaca players that you see coming up big and expanding the lead for the Bombers?
Obviously, there's Libby Maka. She's been doing good so far. She has a rebound, really good so far, running the offense through her. There's also Becca Fosella, as you mentioned earlier. She's been great. Their forwards, they're a taller team, so they can push the ball inside in the paint, and they've been taking advantage of that so far this game. Middleman also just great start for her on the game. She has 2 points. She has a rebound. She's been great attacking the basket. She's been attacking the basket over and over and over again, because that's where they have the advantage over Bard in the height. So if you can just take advantage of that, you're going to have a good game.
Absolutely. Now, what does Ithaca need to do to keep this momentum going?
Keep scoring and keep the pressure up. They've been the full court press all game. They do not give Bard room to breathe, and they keep forcing Bard into the mistakes that they have been known for this season. 21 turnovers, and they only have 10 in this game. A lot of cross-court passes the Raptors have been attempting, not very safe passes, and they've been knocked out of bounds a lot. So for Ithaca, just keep up the pressure. Do not give Bard any room to breathe today, because that's been working, only holding Bard to 18 points in the first half.
Absolutely, I know. And Bard, especially in the first half, in the beginning of the game, they're keeping it tight. Their defense was very strong, but they've had a really hard time getting shots off. So, what do you think are any strategies Bard should do in this second half?
Limit the mistakes.
Yeah.
Limit the turnovers. Limit the bad passes. I mean, like you've been getting your open shots. You just haven't been making them. So hopefully, come out in the second half and you start hitting some of those open threes and those mid-range shots. But the shots down in the paint just haven't been working. You do not have the height over Anya Watkins and Zarada Iqbal's to continue taking those shots. So look for the mid-ranges and draw more fouls. They only went to the line once that entire first half. So try to draw more fouls if you are going to keep going to the paint. But yeah, they just have gotta make better choices with their passes, and also when bringing the ball up the court, just a lot of steals, a lot of bad ball handling. It seems like in that first half. So yeah, just really limit the mistakes for the Raptors.
Absolutely. Well, excited to see how this game turns out. Ithaca 29, Bard 18. Colin Martin and Jonathan Falco have the second half call up next.
And we are back in Ben Light Gymnasium. About a minute till we go to tip off for the second half. Ithaca College Bombers lead the Bard Raptors by a score 29-18. I'm Colin Martin, joined by my broadcast partner Jonathan Falco, as we resume the second half. An interesting, some could call it sloppy, play in the first half from both sides. What do you want to see improved? But first, we're going to send it down to Rayon DeCrow. Guys, let's see what Rayon DeCrow has for us on the sideline. Looks like we might have lost Ray for the moment. We'll send it back to her, but hey, Jonathan, gives you one more chance to ask what you thought about that first half.
That first half was very good defensively for the Bombers team. Yeah, they were a bit sloppy on offense, but there's a reason they only allowed 18 points to this Bard College team. An efficient defensive performance so far.
This time it's legit. Rayon DeCrow at the sideline. What do you got for us? Technical difficulties, but hey, no difficulty for Ithaca to get things going in the second quarter as we open up the second half of play. Flip sides, Bard going to inbound the ball.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Colin. Flipping sides, looking at maybe trying to flip the momentum here because Bard's been struggling. We're struggling in this first half. Hopefully, for this Raptors team, Alina Walker, their first-year head coach, maybe said something that fired him up a little bit, down 11 as the second half's ready to get underway.
Second half underway. Dixon going to inbound the ball to Tobes, handling things at the perimeter. Nice little handoff back to Dixon. Dong in the corner. The pass is short. Maintains it. Gets to the lane. That shot from Miller off the glass. No good. Maintained by Watkins under the basket. Iqbal Seta pushing the pace right back. Iqbal Seta to Wait. To Maka. Jab step. Gets to the lane. Gonna find some content.
He has some clear contact for Elizabeth. they're going to call it on Maggie Payton. They're going to foul on Maggie Payton. The first foul of the game as Lily Maka take the foul shots here.
Maka, we've mentioned it so many times. The career high 22 points last night. She's an impact player. Her first free throw. Going to go just a bit too short. Rim out. Talk about that transition. Post player to the wing, and we're seeing it. Willing to put the ball on the floor. Athletic player. Second one. That one finds its way in. Boost their score to 30. Continuing that full court press of theirs. Dong is going to send it in to Dixon, but Ithaca not allowing much breathing room. Maka backs off, allows Dixon to get to half court. She's going to swing it out to the left side. Back up top, it's Dong, swinging to the corner. Miller gets to the lane, finds space. Back out. Miller in the post. Right-handed jab. Not going to go the way she expects, but Iqbal Seta running up the right side. Iqbal Seta to the lane. Jump stop. Gill to Waite. Waite directs traffic. Iqbal Seta trying to attack the middle of the floor. Down to Watkins. Back out to Iqbal Seta. That three-pointer rims out, but Watkins gets a hand on it. Waite wide open at the rim. Sends it back to Watkins. Watkins with the left hand. Watkins with her first bucket of the second half of play. The active offensive rebounding allows Watkins to get a look right under the rim.
And we mentioned Anya Watkins a lot in the first quarter. Not as much in the second quarter because Coach Raymond was giving a lot of other people the minutes. But Anya Watkins, incredible under the boards. Second in the Liberty League in total rebounds. A clutch offensive rebound there for the Bombers.
Dawn kicks it out to the side. That shot just a bit too far. Rebounded by Gill. Gill going to set the offense up herself. Iqbal Seta, they're sagging off. She tosses it down to Watkins. Left side, smooth as silk. Watkins getting to that drop step early and often, and Bard forced to call the timeout.
With back-to-back points for Anya Watkins, what an incredible start for her to get the first 4 points of this second half for the Bombers.
Jonathan, we're going to give Ray another shot on the sideline. Let's see if we can hear it this time. Looking good. Ray, what do we got?
Yeah, finally good to hopefully hear from you guys. You guys good up there? Okay, great. So the message for Coach Walker on the Bard side of things is, number one, protect the rock. There were a couple times Emma Waite just stripped a couple of the point guards really early on in the possession. Protect the basketball. Number two, get big on defense. Get really big and tall. This team isn't very large, so you can protect the basketball that way too. Guys, back to you.
And a faulty mic can't stop the great Rihanna DeCrow. Thank you. And this Bard defense can't stop Anya Watkins in the early going. Ithaca running their offense just a bit differently, a little less of an emphasis on the perimeter. They're sending it down low. As Dong will inbound now to Aislinn Dixon. Dixon, a 37% three-point shooter on the season. On quite a bit of attempts, she shoots early and often. She's going to set it up. Dong, back up. Trying to find Miller with space, but Maka all over her. Left side of action, that's Dixon. Out to the corner. Tobes to the lane. Going to put it up herself and find some contact. It's going to be a foul on the Bombers' side. Tobes willing to attack the rim. She's going to earn that foul while shaking it off a little bit. Took a hard fall.
Yeah, they're going to call a foul on Maka there. A lot of contact against the Raptors, but now, Aaron Tobes.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication. Tobes lined up like she was going to get a free throw. Yeah. It's called on the floor, so now it's Dong inbounding for Bard. Tobes running up, pass short. Tobes gets it. Maka hadn't turned her head around. Size disadvantage. It was Emma Waite trying to box out Maggie Payton. Maggie Payton, a lot of size, 6 foot. Quite often the tallest player on the court when she checks in. And also, not just a basketball star, women's lacrosse for Bard. Maggie Payton is a contributor.
Yeah, and Maggie Payton being mismatched, complete mismatch against Emma Waite. Emma Waite being 5 foot flat. Maggie Payton being 6 foot, an entire foot taller than her. If you're Bard, you'll take that mismatch any day.
That call on the floor. Once again, Bard thought they were getting a free throw. That's 2 straight calls that go to the floor for them, but they rack up quick. Dong on the perimeter is going to find Payton. Bottled up, and that one stolen by the Bombers. Jump step. Easy money. That's Maka's defensive impact shining once again. Absolutely smothering Payton on the perimeter.
Easy money for Maka there. Just a quick little hop step for her. Fakes up the defense. A quick 2. Up 36-18 now for the Bombers.
Payton's going to find Miller on the near wing. Miller dribbles to the lane. Just a bit too much contact there.
I think they might call it on Zarda Ichabod. Set a quick little reach in and stumble it around.
One's going to go on Maka. Going to have to get her subbed out for Jill Payne now. And Maka, that's kind of the luck of the draw right there. You are such a physical defender. You get your hand in on a lot of plays. You rack up a lot of steals. You get a couple blocks here and there, but physical contact. Once again, we see the mismatch. Peyton guarded by Wade. And hey, Wade's got a lot of defensive intensity, but that's the foot height differential you mentioned. Wade now setting up the offense on the opposite side. Watkins on the perimeter, back to Wade. Ichabod Seta with the cut through. There's Gill. Down to Watkins. Watkins to Payne in the corner. Swings things back up to the top. It's Wade. Wade looks off Gill and then feeds her. Nice little fadeaway off the glass.
Wow. Nice little fadeaway there by, Madison Gill. A little bit of skill there shown by Gill.
Bombers contributing a lot more down low. That one shot from the corner, and that one finds its way in. Who else but Hazelyn Dixon? Wow. Ithaca trying to match right there. Gill in the corner. You got one, I got one better.
Back-to-back threes from the far side of both sides of the court. Back-to-back 6 points. Total for 3 each for both of these teams, just like that. A little bit of high scoring here to start the second half.
No harm, no foul. Dong going to swing things back up to the top. A scoop shot from Tobes, unable to find its way in. Now here comes Ichabod Seta. Defender on the hip. Payne in the corner. Mishandles the ball. They're going to call it off Dong.
It is going to be off Shirley Dong. Jillian Payne. Haven't seen a whole lot of her this started 2 times for this Bombers team, but they're on the bench for the other 3 games that she's been a part of.
Wade steps off. The first-year Natalie Tucker coming into the game. She maintains the ball on the near side. Swings it back up to Ichabod Seta. Getting hounded by Dong. The switch. She likes the mismatch. Takes her to the rim. Wow. And you can call that jelly fam. A little bit of a finger roll on that one.
Zoraida Ichabod Seta playing a little risky against someone the size of Tiana Gonzalez. A little bit of a mismatch that does not favor Ichabod Seta, but regardless, takes advantage of some defensive errors by the Gonzalez, which it hasn't been his first time.
That shot finds its way in. It's Hazelyn Dixon once again, and hey, maybe a mismatch in the size department, but Ichabod Seta knew she had the foot speed. Payne to the corner. It's Gill. Down to Watkins. Left-handed shot. Gets her on board. Once again, they're going to call the foul. Seems like Watkins could have put that one up and down as many times as she wanted. Incredible positioning. She takes a little extra one to say, hey, I can still make that shot. She had to make sure she still has it as she gets like two free throws here at the charity stripe. And she might not get those 2 points the way she wanted, but she's still going to get him a shot. Miller going to step off. Allows the senior Maggie Payton to step back in down low on the block. Watkins, 2 shots, that one. Absolute butter. And Watkins getting the ball more and more often, and she's liking that matchup. She doesn't care about the size of Maggie Payton. She has the strength. She has that little left-handed shot that she takes so dearly, and the 2 free throws are good. Dong once again inbounding for the Bard side. Trying to see if their offense can get flowing. Outside of a couple threes from Dixon in this third quarter, not a whole lot of action going on for the Raptors. Tobe sets up the offense. Dong in the corner. Takes it to the baseline. Dixon outside. Just a bit off from Tiana Gonzalez.
I think his defense was playing tight coverage on Shirley Dong.
Set it to Payne. Payne wide open. Just a bit off the mark. Here's Dixon trying to direct traffic. Tobes calling for some movement from the offense. We see Payton trying to set a down screen. Instead, they're going to find Dong. That one, quite a bit off the mark. It's the lower side of the backboard. Now Ichabod Seta trying to run things back the opposite direction. Payne on the perimeter. Outside to Tucker. Tucker, left-handed dribble. Gill on the outside. Call it! Another big three-pointer for Madison Gill. only averaging 25% from three-point range on the season. You wouldn't be able to tell. She's shooting it with confidence in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Up 47-26. Why not? Shoot a little bit of confidence. Get that fear out of you that you cannot shoot, but you absolutely can. Madison Gill showing it in this game.
The first-year student out of Barrington, Rhode Island, and has a similar heart to ours as a sports media major herself, showing a little bit of love. Ithaca Bombers making mass substitutions now on the court. Tucker and Payne remain out there. Avery McPeak checks into the game.
You know, one thing I appreciate about this Bombers team, when we mentioned the youth of this Bard College team, but the Bombers have 5 first-year students as well, and they're looking to get some minutes here today.
There's McPeak wide open. Nice back cut. That one comes, by the way, Tori Dredner, who also checked into this game with Alia Dervesevic.
Yeah, Nellie Tucker checking into this game as well.
Tucker, first-year student of her own, as Bard gets a layup. Making an impact, been in the game for now just a couple minutes. Some of her first action of the season. Payne on the near side perimeter. She's going to toss down to Dervesevic. Payne to the corner. Nat Tucker just a bit short, but maintained on the boards. McPeak finds Tucker again, mid-range. McPeak, get a hand on it again, why don't you? Battle on the ground. McPeak showing off the athleticism and the active play on the offensive side. Not letting Bard maintain possession. Ithaca is going to get it on the dead ball under the rim.
The Avery McPeak out there, the junior, I believe her and Jillian Payne being the two juniors and seniors, respectively, on the court right now.
Bit of a youth movement on the court, but Payne and McPeak have seen it all before. Down to McPeak on the block. Handoff. That's Tori Drevna getting fouled. And McPeak, as you mentioned, a junior on this team, hasn't seen the play time of some of these other upperclassmen, but when she's on the court, she does all the right things. There's a reason why she checks into games, no matter the moment. When Dan Raymond sees the fit is right, there's so many things that Avery McPeak does well. Great playmaking for her size, great athleticism, and we saw the offensive rebounding talent right there as Drevna misses her first. Really like what you see from McPeak in spurts. Definitely someone that you expect to contribute to this team as the season goes on.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And someone you can count on, the junior being a leader on this team, being a part of this team as Drevna drills the second free throw.
Now Bard with the inbound. Aislinn Dixon hasn't seen a whole lot of rest this game. She continues to bring the ball up the floor for Bard. She finds space to the left. To Gonzalez. Takes it to the lane. Gonzalez, right-handed scoop layup, finds its way in. Now there's Tiana Gonzalez attacking the rim. That's the usual part of her game plan.
That was filthy. What a layup. It's Tiana Gonzalez.
Here comes Drevna. Crossover. Tucker. McPeak. Drevna. 3. Count it! Great offensive sequence, huh?
I think it's safe to say you could not be leaving Tori Drevna that wide open with all the time in the world to shoot a 3, and she's going to take that all day and drill it.
That shot from Martin, just a bit off the mark. Maintained by Drevna. Full speed ahead. Payne down to the block. McPeak. Tangled up with Romaine around the rim.
And we mentioned the intensity before the end of the first half. I feel like the Bombers are playing with the offensive intensity that they needed to play in the first half, especially with these bench players, hungry for the minutes that they so rightfully deserve. And you see Dervesevic out there, Natalie Tucker, 2 underclassmen. Well, Tucker's an underclassman. Dervesevic being the sophomore, out there with Tori Drevna as well.
McNamara's going to come in for Payne. As you're mentioning, Jonathan, even more youth. That shot, Dervesevic, in and out. Lexi Miller gets under the rim. Finds the guard, Alicia Romaine. There's Dong in the corner. Straight to the rim. Swooping to Miller. Instead, Martin on the outside. Her shot, not quite. McPeak battling around the rim. She'll maintain this one. Drevna on the far side. Pass it down to McNamara. Drevna trying to direct traffic. She likes what she sees in the corner. Dervesevic. Bit too much on that one. Whistle's going to blow under the rim. McNamara trying to get positioning. It's going to be a foul on the Bombers.
And I love the amount of spacing the Bombers had there. The shot did not fall, but the Bombers were creating enough space for the three-point shot to even be a possibility there.
Now the Bombers, even with the 23-point lead, still running their full court press. It's not about the score, it's about executing on the highest level. We're seeing it here. Dong trying to create. Romaine's going to get it on that left side. Swing it back to Miller. Miller back to Romaine underneath. Mishandled. Here's Martin, the shooter. Instead, goes to Miller on the block. That's what Miller does best. Nice little fadeaway action. Gets Bard back on the board. Now the Bombers trying to swing it right back. It's going to be a carry called on Tori Drevna. Trying to set up the offense. Her feet maybe moving a bit quicker than the rest of her team could catch up with.
I like to talk a little bit about Lexi Miller, though, because we mentioned Anya Watkins and her ability to rebound. Lexi Miller is not somebody to sleep on either when it comes to picking up boards. Fourth in the Liberty League in rebounds. Lexi Miller, incredible on the board. Only has 3 in this game, but something to look out for as the third quarter is about to come to a close.
As you mentioned, third quarter, 10 seconds remaining. Dong's going to take a 3 off balance. Rebounded under the rim by the Bombers. Full speed ahead. Down on the block. Right-handed layup. No whistle blows. McNamara puts it right back. And as the third quarter buzzer sounds, Ithaca with a dominant scoring affair. They lead 55-32.
Grace McNamara there with the final seconds. In my opinion, there absolutely should have been a whistle blown there. But regardless, I credit Grace McNamara for not saying, hey, that should have been a whistle. Not really turning to the referee, but staying in the game till the very end of the third quarter, regardless of what they think should have happened or what they didn't think.
Fourth quarter beginning soon, but in the meantime, we'll send it down to the sideline. Ariana DeCrow, what do you got?
Guys, seems like something's unlocked for the Bombers. Talking to Coach Raymond at halftime, he said he didn't really had any answers, but this Bard defense has never allowed fewer than 66 points against the Bombers in their all-time matchups. Ithaca starting to unload here. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Ray. As you mentioned, this Bard team, they take a lot of pride in their defense, and we saw it through the first 4 games of the season, only allowing a combined 49 points per game on average through their first 4 since they stepped into Liberty League play. A tough matchup last night against RIT. The Bombers, 55 at this point going into the fourth quarter. What do you think has unlocked for the Bombers as we've seen the scoring amplify in this third quarter of action, Jonathan?
And we mentioned it around the midway point of the third quarter. The offensive intensity is there now. It's matching the defensive intensity that the Bombers showed in the first half. And now the offensive intensity is there. The defensive intensity is still there. As Red Iqbal said, being the and Anya Watkins to be the forefront of the Ithaca defense. The offense showing some promise here too, especially with the bench players.
Yeah, and you can highlight that starting 5 that the Bombers put out there, combined all of them with at least 5 points or more, all on efficient shooting. But towards the bench, we're seeing these young contributors. Hey, maybe they're not putting up elite scoring games when they sub into the action here, but they're doing all the right things. It's going to be another young lineup on the court for the Bombers as we resume action in the fourth quarter. Bard rolling with basically the same starting 5 they started with. Dixon passing to Tobes. Fourth quarter's under action. So Tobes going to swing it out to the side. It's Peyton. Back to Dong. Dixon over to Miller, and that one handled by Barros. As you mentioned, Lexi Miller, very talented player, one of the better forwards you'll find in the Liberty League. The sophomore, Madeline Barros, not worried about it, getting up into the action, nearly causing a turnover. It's going to go off the Bombers. Up to the top, it's Bard. They find Dixon, squared up to shoot. She'll take a dribble to the left side. That one just a bit short. Rebound maintained by the Bombers. Off to the side, it's Middleman. Down to the post. Middleman's going to get it right back. McNamara off the hands. Just a little bit too much power on that pass.
Yeah, just a little bit too much power, but someone that mentioned they just checked into the game for the Bombers. Simone Pintanelli, the first-year guard. Dan Raymond using his first years, giving them giving them some minutes up by a significant margin against this Bard College Raptors team.
We heard from Coach Raymond at halftime. We wanted to see those players. Nice little layup from Aislinn Dixon gets Bard back on the board in this fourth quarter. But we heard from Raymond. He wanted to get this lead just a bit more comfortable. He wanted to see these young players shine, and he's doing just that. Drop step, layup. There's Maka. Going to pick up the foul. We've mentioned it plenty of times in the broadcast so far, but Maka with a really incredible game of her own. You'd expect that scoring affair where she already has 7 on efficient shooting, I must mention again, 4 personal fouls. There's a reason we saw her a little bit less in that third quarter than you expected, but Maka, she's young of her own. I mean, we see her in the starting lineup, but when you put in a lineup that has the youth, you have to include Elizabeth Maka because, hey, she's only in her second year. Doesn't look it, though, playing like an experienced player on this roster.
Elizabeth Maka, I mean, after she just missed that first free throw, but during the foul, she really wanted that and one because regardless of the score, the Bombers are up by a significant margin, but Maka's still playing competitive. She's getting frustrated with herself a little bit. Something to watch as the third quarter reaches the halfway point.
Yeah, Maka, definitely a player that keeps high expectations for herself. Goes 0 for 2 from the line there. Bard trying to set it up. Dong with the triple handoff. Outside, Tobes off the mark. That's going to be maintained by Maka. Here comes Middleman. It's Barros. Down to the post, McNamara. A one-legger is a bit short. Tobes pushing the pace down the sideline. Middleman checking her all the way. Dong on the far side. Left-hand dribble. Hop step. Handled. And pump fake. Dixon to Tobes at the top of the key. Unbalanced side to the right. That would be a travel for Tobes.
A previous issue that was highlighted in the first half by both you and I, Colin, is the Bards' travels. They've had a significant amount of travels in this game, regardless, even when they were up early in the game. It's just been crucial mistakes like that are the reason why and the Bombers being able to capitalize on them are the reason why the Bombers are up right now.
Maka to the far side. Barros, not quite, but McNamara with the hustle. Middleman, Barros, clean cut, easy layup. Barros with the pass down to Grace McNamara. The 3 is no good, but Barros, great vision. Barros able to finish at McNamara on the pass. Getting my words twisted there, but incredible play both sides. Maka gets a hand on it. That's foul number 5. She already knows. Heading to the scorer's table. McPeak going to check in for her. What a game by Maka. It ends there with 5 fouls, but the defensive intensity, that's exactly what you want to see from her as she joins the starting lineup this season.
Yeah, absolutely right. And now the Bombers up by 57-34. What an incredible showcase for the Bombers. And I believe that's Simone Pincinelli coming in, talking to Coach Raymond. I think Pincinelli banged her finger on the ball. She's just talking to Raymond. I think she looks okay. And now Raymond just talking with her as free throws are getting on the way.
Coach Raymond showing his box-out technique as Peyton's at the line. That one rims out. Maintained by Dixon. Hustle play. Tobes to the lane. Right-handed scoop shot. Another foul. Look at the energy from Bard. You're in a point in the game that you're not exactly in love with. You're down by 23, 7:30 remaining in the final quarter of action. But the bench still getting hyped up for Tobes to get to the lane, put those shots up. That's what you want to see, and that's, even in a game like this that might feel out of reach, that's the type of stuff that brings you back to a competitive point. Yeah. That's the energy you like to see.
I enjoy that energy, Colin. I absolutely love that you mentioned that they're down by a lot right now, but they're remaining positive as that second free throw goes off. The Raptors are, even the little things that they're going to be able to try and carry into their next game, they're probably going to lose this one as
McPeak. We mentioned it. When McPeak checks into the game, she finds ways to impact, just subs in for Maka, who steps out, immediately contributing on the offensive side. That's a little right-handed bucket there. Bard's going to set up their offense. Dixon to Gonzalez. Jab step, right side. Just a bit too much. Had everything but the finish. Middleman calling out for McNamara. Finds her on the side. Step back. Tween to the lane. And that's going to be hard to stop. Some fancy handles before McNamara takes it straight to the rim.
There's some shades of Kyrie Irving there by Grace McNamara with those handles. Unfortunately, it didn't result in anything for her, or nothing, but pretty impressive for her as stopping in place here.
Checking into the game, we have Olivia Stevens and Kenzie Perluke. Gonna have to wait just a moment longer, as it looks like Perluke might be going in for McNamara, who is the shooter. Gonna have to wait, see how these 2 shots land before she can step into the game. Now it's McNamara at the line. Sophomore out of Scituate, Massachusetts. First shot finds its way in. McNamara is a sophomore. Didn't get a whole lot of run in her freshman season, but still averaged 3.5 points per game, kind of in a similar vein to McPeak. She didn't get to play too often, but when she did, always impactful, especially on the offensive side. Talented shooter. That one's going to go out. And Perluke going to have to wait just a moment longer on the sideline. McPeak getting tied up with Gonzalez. Teammates helping them both up. Now here comes Perluke. Coming in for McNamara.
And now that the Bombers are up by now over 25 points, the Coach Raymond's probably gonna try some new things with the bench crew, looking to develop some new schemes, anything that can work in later games. This is the experimental part of the game for a blowout matchup between the Bombers and Raptors right now.
One of the biggest things is when you talk to a coach like Coach Raymond, who has the experience, has been here before, you want your players 1 through 15 to operate on the same level. Just seeing if they can run that press to its best efficiency, seeing if they can have this offense going. McPeak stays on the floor to provide a level of continuity. Bombers to the lane. That shot, gonna have to call the foul. It's Olivia Stevens, the first year out of Berlin, Connecticut, getting down.
Yeah, Olivia Stevens is someone we haven't really seen a lot of this year out of Burlington, Connecticut. A little fun fact, she was her team MVP in high school, so she definitely has some leadership skills to maybe develop as her career gets underway for this Bombers team.
Jonathan, a bit curious there. Both teams line up in the free throw position as if it was a defensive foul. Both teams seem to have admitted it. Instead, they're going to call the offensive foul on the Bombers. Now Romaine. Heading down to the lane on the right side. Corner, three-pointer. Martin just short. Dixon gets the offensive board. Going to swing it out to Martin once again. Martin to the lane. Hesitation. Foul on Stevens.
Stevens is a little bit confused there as to why there was a foul, but regardless, the referees calling a foul on the first year.
It's going to send Martin to the line. Getting into the bonus. Martin shooting 2. Mentioned her plenty of times throughout the game. Now, there is no 6th Player of the Year award in the Liberty League, but Martin makes a case for it. You might not see it in the scoring production, but she plays 22 minutes per game coming off the bench for the Raptors side. Yeah. She gets involved.
Yeah, and she's played all 7 games for the Raptors heading into this one. This is her 8th, obviously, but she's been nothing short of incredible on this bench, and I would agree. She'd definitely be contention for a 6th Player of the Year if there was that in the Liberty League.
Outside, Bombers continue to try to get to the lane. That one bottled up by Bard. Jump ball whistle to be blown. Now Bard here continuing to show that same level of defensive ability. Bombers huddle up for a moment. Commanding the ball will be Nat Tucker. Out to the side, Spinalti. Crossover, step back, Collins! What a shot!
Simone Pintinelli, are you kidding me? Dan Raymond must have his smile up right now. Look at all of this.
Smile hasn't faded. Here it comes, left-handed layup. Not enough on it. Barros, drop step, walk through, easy money. And these young Bombers are doing what they do best.
And we mentioned the energy for the Raptors. We have to talk about the energy for the Bombers, up 64-37, still bringing the vibes that they need.
Easy to have the positive atmosphere when you lead by nearly 30 points, but Gonzalez is going to cut that margin just a bit sharper. Again, she's taken a couple great right-handed drives at the rim. That's another one that falls. Foul on Dixon. Wouldn't want to call it intentional, but Dixon got beat off the foot. She reached his arm out and said, hey, let's set up our defense once again. It's a smart foul in that spot.
You're absolutely right. And this is pretty easy to predict. It's pretty easy to analyze here, Colin. But Ithaca's playing a bit softer on defense now, up by a lot. But I do appreciate the Raptors playing a bit tighter regardless of the score. And so I appreciate Coach Walker and the Raptors for doing that.
Dan Raymond going to use a 30-second timeout, deliberate with his team, kind of get them in order, but in the meantime, Rayana Crow on the sideline. Ray, what do you got for us?
Yeah, guys, Coach Raymond spending a little bit more time on his sideline, making sure before subs check in, especially those freshmen, that they're getting those valuable words of advice before they go in and are able to make those adjustments, play valuable minutes in this Bard game. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Ray, and hitting the nail on the head. Just getting the confidence up for a lot of these players. It's some of their first time of the season, some of the first time in their collegiate career getting this many minutes in a row, getting these consistent stretches. For Coach Raymond, it's not just about putting these players in the game, it's putting them in places to succeed. And we'll see that right here. Inbounding the ball, Tucker contains it. Down to the corner, to the far side. Step back, crossover to the left hand, off the glass. Penalty shoots another one, and we saw the energy when she knocked in that first bucket from deep.
Yeah, even I was like, oh my goodness, I just watched that. I even took a step back off that fadeaway of just a few minutes ago. Simone Pincinelli definitely impressing Coach Raymond as this game's about ready to come to a close with 4:33 left to go.
A bit too much intensity on the offensive side from Stevens. Gets an off-ball foul. In the bonus, it's going to send Romaine to the line. Romaine's first shot finds its way in. We've seen Romaine play quite a bit in this game, especially in the second half of play. Consistent point guard, an improved playmaker is what you've seen the most from Romaine in her career. Second shot, no good. Bombers going to set up the offense on their side. Pincinelli passes it down low, mishandled. In and out of the hands of Stevens. Here comes Tobes, right side, corner. Had a foot out of bounds was Gonzalez. Shot was off. Imagine if she had her feet maybe a little bit better under her. Didn't have to hear the whistle coming from directly behind her with the official. Yeah, maybe that shot's a little different.
You're absolutely right. Tiana Gonzalez, a little bit of Kevin Durant mentioned there, except Kevin Durant had his front of his foot on the three-point line. And Gonzalez with her back foot on the out-of-bounds line. A little bit of similarities there as the Bombers with the ball again.
Bomber ball per Luke on the perimeter. Crossover to the left side. Stevens driving the lane to the right. Corner. Penalty for three. Just a bit off. Getting a hand on it was McPeak, but that's where it will lie. Off the right hand of McPeak. Bard able to set things back up once again.
I love Simone Pincinelli's confidence. This is her third three-point attempt and since she checked into the game. And she's really feeling herself. She's not even with the couple of missed shots, she's continuing to try and get those open looks and trying to connect on the baskets.
It's Miller gonna get fouled on the side.
Yeah, they're calling him Kenzie Perluke, the freshman.
Number 14, Kenzie Perluke.
Ithaca, you can talk about the consistency they put together in this second half, fourth quarter especially. But one thing that hasn't shined for them is the fouls. Seems like Bard's been in the bonus for a greater part of 7 minutes or more in this fourth quarter. Definitely something that Coach Raymond wanted to drill down with his team. Sends Miller to the line. Miller's first free throw will find the net. Miller, one of the leading scorers on this team. 9.7 is the largest number, and she consistently puts up the most shots. It allows her to get to the line and get in positions like this. Her second free throw will be good.
Yeah, Lexi Miller is kind of like Bard's Anya Watkins. We've made the comparisons a lot this game, but Miller's obviously played a bit more time with her team down by a significant margin, but she's not really a three-point shooter either and plays great on the rebounds.
Corner, that one, bit too long. Rebound on the Bombers' offensive side. Mid-range, finds. That's Kenzie Perluke with her first bucket of this game. Kind of in a jam right there. A lot of Bard defenders, a lot of black jerseys in that area. Perluke just drops in over the top for Bard. It's Tobes. Jab step, down low to Miller. Miller trying to make space. And Perluke just a bit too physical. Going to send Miller back to the line again. Ithaca clearly read the scouting report on Miller, one of the best scorers on this team. Only sixth in this game. She's going to head to the line, try to make it 7 or 8.
Yeah.
For the most part, Miller has been contained until this latter part of the fourth quarter. She heads to the line. First free throw, off the mark.
And Lexi Miller, and we mentioned it. Hasn't really got her going until very late in this game. But Lexi Miller once again with another free throw, and that one doesn't fall either. So 0 for 2 on the free throws there.
Score remains 66-42 in way of the Bombers. They come down the court flying. Perluke to the corner. That shot. Count it! Pincinelli. Great defensive intensity from Nat Tucker, staying up in the face of Tobes. Tobes wings that to the side. Errant pass. Pincinelli jamming down the right side. Fakes the dribble to the top of the key. Tucker to the lane. Takes it herself. Left-handed. Just a bit too strong. McPeak going to knock that one out again. The competitive drive from Natalie Tucker. Takes a nice little jab step to the right. Puts it on the floor to the left. A bit too much on the finish, but that's a great looking move.
Yeah, Simone Pincinelli is not the only person trying to impress Coach Raymond with the amount of minutes that they're getting in this game. Up 69-42 against the Bard College. Nothing wrong with showing a little bit of what you can do to the coaches.
2 minutes remain. Shirley Dong. Bit too much force on that. Here comes Tucker. Perluke. Left-handed dribble. Tries to finish with the right. Bit too far under the basket. Gonzalez with a nice little wraparound, taking things back up the court. Gonzalez to Tobes. Too much. Perluke gonna send it to Stevens. We take under 2 minutes. Stevens steps into a three. Confidence. Front rim. But McPeak with the ability to get the offensive rebound. Perluke a step in from the three-point line. Ithaca crashing the offensive boards. Even when they miss, you know that's not the only shot they're getting.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I love we mentioned the intensity. I love this intensity. Offensive rebounds, creating shots, regardless of the score. The Bombers showing how good they are when it comes to their chemistry.
Bard elects to use a timeout late into this one, trying to make the final substitutions and adjustments in their game. Checking into the game for them just a moment before the timeout was called was Melina Coury. Excited to see her action. Very physical forward. Has been getting more playing time over the last couple of weeks, and from Athens, Greece, overseas for Coury.
Really, only international player on this Bard College team, on either of these teams rather. Yeah, Melina Coury from Athens, Greece, the first year forward. 5'7", and yeah, and that's a very interesting little fun fact there as this game comes to a close. 69-42 is the score, and the timeout's still going on. And we have to mention, Colin, this Bombers team, from the first quarter to the fourth quarter, the intensity, the energy that both teams are bringing, but primarily the Bombers, and that's why they're up by this significant amount.
Ithaca's going to send the lineup of McPeak, Stevens, Pincinelli, Tucker, back onto the court, joined by Perluke. For Bard, we mentioned that Coury was checking into the game. We see her down at the post, but besides that, very similar offensive lineup. Gets Stevens the break on the opposite side, Miller rather, as here comes Dixon to the left side. Romaine, she's going to take her first three of the game. That one just a bit short. Perluke to Stevens. Raymond saying go, trying to push the pace. Pincinelli, direct traffic. Stevens to Tucker. Tucker, right side, slowing things down. Pincinelli trying to look for the read. McPeak taking up some real estate on the high post. They'll hit her there. Finds trouble as Tucker, and they're going to call a travel. Tucker kind of got flooded by two Bard defenders, but Ithaca trying to make the most of every possession down to the last second.
Yeah, pretty good defense there. Yeah, it's unstable travel. Natalie Tucker getting double teamed there, but yeah, it's clear travel there by Tucker.
Dixon to Coury. Now to the side is Gonzalez. Gonzalez, hesitation. Tries to snatch back into the left hand. Met by Stevens, and then throws an errant pass is Gonzalez. Good defensive stop from the Bombers.
Yeah, the double team worked out there. Tiara Gonzalez felt the pressure of the double team. But I believe McPeak was there with Perluke playing a good defense then.
Stevens to Tucker. Stevens thought about shooting it, holds it down. Perluke gonna take it to the left side. Drive, finds open space, finishes with the right hand for point 71. Perluke's second bucket of the action. Here comes Dong, right-handed floater, in and out. Coury making an impact in on the glass. They'll call a foul on the floor.
That basket does not count. a foul call number 22, Natalie Tucker. Her first.
There's Corey heading to the line.
Guard, number 34, Melina Kuluri.
Corey gonna take her first here. As we mentioned, stepped into the game just a moment ago during that Bard timeout. First shot finds its way in. We mentioned that Bard sideline, just keeping that energy up. It's a game where you don't find the result you want down to the wire, but hey, the energy is great, and I give them a lot of credit, and I give Coach Elena Walker a lot of credit. It's a young squad. The composure that they've shown late into the game, no ticky-tacky fouls, no over-intense moments, just good basketball down to the wire. They dropped this one to Ithaca, but that's how you want this team to operate. And the intensity, Romaine still got it in her. Down to the very last second. And there it goes. Ithaca walks out of this home Liberty League matchup with a victory, 71-44. From start to finish, it may have been a little bit lagging at first, but we knew that Ithaca would come out intensely in the second half. Coach Raymond talked to our Rayana DeCrow at halftime, said, hey, I want to give our team a cushion so we can let these young guys play. That's exactly what happens.
Yeah, absolutely right, Colin. And we think about just the efficiency, the consistency of this Ithaca Bombers team. And in my opinion, that propelled them to a big win here at Ben Light Gymnasium. And we come into this game expecting the Bombers to win. You can expect the Bombers to win this game. Where you look at the talent on the team, they talk about the experience. But regardless, it's a big Liberty League win. It puts a win on the conference record regardless. Now the Bombers are 2-0 in Liberty League play this season, and that's big. If the Bombers are on the quest to try and win the Liberty League, getting into the Liberty League tournament, this is a good start so far.
In the meantime, we're going to set it down to Rayana DeCrow, down to the sideline with Madison Gill. Ray, what do you got?
Guys, thanks so much. Down here with Maddie Gill. I mean, a great weekend for you guys. 2 Liberty League wins, and you yourself had a great weekend as well. 10 points tonight. Great game yesterday. What was going so well?
I think just after Tuesday, we knew that we had to go out there and really play our hardest. And we talked so much about team basketball, and I think that's really what we did this weekend. We just really all played together. We trusted each other, and I think that led to 2 of our wins.
Yeah, a really tough game against Rochester earlier in the week, and then you turn it around and get a great win against Vassar. What were the adjustments you had to make?
We made some adjustments defensively. I think that really benefited us, but I think just going in knowing that we were the underdogs and that we didn't have anything to lose, and I think that fueled our fire. So that really pushed us to just play together, just push the ball, and just know that we are the team that we've been practicing and playing with. So
you turn around next weekend, go to Springfield, 2 big games. What are you focusing on? How do you keep the momentum going?
I think just going out in every game just with the same intensity and knowing that we're out there to play for each other, and we know that if we trust each other, we play together. We can play like we played today. We can play like we played yesterday, and I think it'll really determine the rest of our season. I think there are 2 or 3 fantastic teams that we're playing, so I think it'll really challenge us, but I think it will definitely benefit us for sure.
Well, Maddie, best of luck. Thank you so much. Great job. Guys, back up to you.
And guys, you heard it from Ray and Madison Gill. Ithaca looks ahead to the Springfield tournament. They open up December 31st. It's a Tuesday at 3:30 versus Tufts University. But for the meantime, that is going to do it. I've been Colin Martin, joined by Jonathan Falco and Rayana DeCrow at the sideline. Stick around for the postgame. CC and Travis give you the coverage of what we just saw.
Welcome back to the post-game show. I'm CC Cam along Travis Conway. And final score from Ben Light, Ithaca 71, Bard 44. What a hard-fought game for the Bombers, getting their second win of the weekend, improving to 3-3 on the year, while Bard falls to 2-6. Travis, what impressed you most about this Bombers team today?
It looks like the offense is finally turned on. 47% from the field today.